100 years without murder. 100 years without demonic possession. Then this. I am Sister Ada, exorcist and investigator. This is my testament to the massacre at St. Walpurgis Abbey. It is truth. Do not believe the lies of my accusers. Welcome to Lucifer Within Us.
Sister Ada, welcome. I am Virgil, Chief Inquisitor at St. Walpurgis Abbey.
Nice forehead stuff going on there.
We may be in need of your talents as an exorcist. You can survey the evidence yourself, but I think you will agree.
Has there truly been a murder?
I mean, it kind of, the blood spattered in the background would kind of suggest yes. So this looks to be like a kind of, an investigating detective-style game.
It seems so.
With
A
demons.
respected priestess, Mother Miriam, passed this morning under suspicious circumstances.
Don't know what you mean, it looks perfectly normal back there.
A demon may be present. Here, even now, possessing someone.
Is it these mannequins?
What happened, exactly?
Mother Miriam was only recently appointed as successor to Abbot Gregory. This morning, she came to the workshop to receive her coronet of office.
Something went wrong with the installation.
The what?
Yes. To
Oh,
put it
coronet.
mildly, the coronet oversurged, killing Mother Miriam. Brace yourself for
I'm
the
assuming
sight.
that's something to do with the forehead stuff. There's like a chip in the brain or something and pop that egg.
Then, the workshop operators, Gideon and Reuben, are the prime suspects. They are brothers, right?
Yes, but it's highly out of character for Gideon or Reuben to kill someone.
I mean, that's usually the case, isn't it?
Even so,
Don't normally
they
go
were
around
the
saying,
ones
yeah,
present when Mother Miriam died.
that's the type of man who would kill someone. Me and my brother, we're all about killing people.
Daemons nurture our sinful desires into unthinkable actions, Virgil. One of the brothers has surely been seduced by a daemon.
We've
Whichever
got to
it
figure out
is,
which one.
I will unmask his lies and cast out the daemon within him.
Appreciate the oldie spelling of demon. Might be Celtic or something. It's like, that was one of the original spellings of demon. They're not misspelling that. It's like how it used to be.
May Einsof's will be done. Amen.
To exorcise a daemon, we must uncover 4 things. First, the suspect. We must identify
One of the
which
brothers?
sinner is possessed by a daemon.
Makes sense.
Second, the opportunity. When exactly was the murder committed?
Okay, so suspect opportunities. Straightforward so
We
far.
can pinpoint the opportunity by analyzing each suspect's testimonies.
Yeah, when they were at each time.
Third, the means by which the murder has been committed.
So we got suspect, opportunity, means, and I'm assuming motive is the last one.
The means can be found among the physical
Yeah,
evidence
what did they
at the scene
use?
of the incident.
Which in this case would be the coronet, I guess.
Fourth,
The
the
motive.
motive of the murderer, which can be found in their inner world. Their
Inner world?
sanctum. The
Going inside their
motive will
brain?
tell us which daemon possesses the sinner.
Very well. Let us
Oh, you were
begin
talking to
our
him. I thought you were talking to me.
holy
Oh. Okay, it's not as visual novelly as I was expecting. This is interesting. It reminds me of like old school Fallout. I guess talk to Gideon, younger brother.
This is madness!
Oh,
I'm
Jesus,
not
calm
suffering
down.
Justice. I am Gideon the Grand, the greatest cybernetician of our generation. I am blessed. I don't know what went wrong this morning. My hands are guided by the divine.
Yeah, here's it. Look at that face. That's a face that's got demons stuffed in. It's probably behind that little eye thing.
I see only gaudy trinkets here.
Oof.
Mother Miriam died by your hands. Is that not so?
Okay, no voice acting for that one. Mother Miriam was my patron. She loved me like a son. I did nothing wrong. The consecration chamber must have been compromised. Sister Ada is here to seek the truth, Gideon. You have nothing to fear if you are innocent. Please hear Gideon's testimony, Sister Ada, and judge for yourself if he speaks true. Testimony of a suspect is divided into events. You can access detailed description of events by hovering over them. You can manipulate the timeline marker to navigate to any moment in the testimony. Let's listen to what Gideon has to say.
Mother Miriam came to me for her consecration ceremony. I've performed this many times before, so I was confident.
That's actually playing out.
To prepare for the ceremony, I ordered Reuben to take Mother Miriam to the consecration chamber.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I adjusted the coronet's amplification.
Wait a second. Let's re-examine what he said about Miriam's arrival.
Mother Miriam came to me for her consecration.
Interesting. Gideon does not mention Reuben being present while greeting Mother Miriam. Let's let Miriam's arrival and ask Gideon about it. Good. I should remember that I can ask his suspect about any statement in a testimony. Were you alone when greeting Mother Miriam? He insists that he was alone. I wonder if Reuben will corroborate this. For now, let's finish hearing the rest of his testimony.
Meanwhile, I adjusted the coronet's amplification at my work table, and then placed it on Mother Miriam's head.
What exactly did you modify? I modified the amplifier within to its maximum setting. To do so, I had to temporarily remove the limiter. But I made sure to replace it before taking it to the chamber. Okay. That seems like an opportunity. Meanwhile, I adjusted the coronet's amplification I worked out and then placed it on her head. Okay, so you fiddled around with it, the amplifier, but you took off the limiter. Again, that seems like a perfect opportunity to me, but... Can I ask any more? Is it the same question? No, it's the same question. We know this. You popped it on her head, then you said a prayer.
We began by closing our eyes and praying together to Ein Sof. I thought I heard the chamber open, but didn't think much of it.
Why would you not think much of that? You heard the door open? Perhaps. I think I also heard footsteps. But it's a faint, vague memory, not to mention it's impossible. After all, Mother Miriam can't open the door from within, that's useful. Reuben was probably working away on some new device or other. So we need to know what happened during the prayer. Okay.
Then I activated the consecration chamber and began the ceremony itself. The aether output was within safe ranges.
Okay, is the ceremony you playing the organ? Oh my god. What makes you so certain that the ceremony was safe? Because I had performed this many times. Okay. So Reuben just charges in for a second there. Oh, that ain't good. Need to go talk to his brother. Reuben.
An exorcist? Surely there are no demons here, though. This was an accident, wasn't it? If Gideon
that's what we're here to find out.
That would mean he did it on purpose. Horrible.
You
Quick to
must
pin
be
the blame
elder
there.
brother.
Yes, my name is Reuben Garamond. I am responsible for the engineering and design of our implants.
How did Mother Miriam die, exactly?
It was a completely preventable accident. Mother Miriam died because Gideon deliberately flouted the ceremonial guidelines for his own glory. Gideon may be my flesh and blood, but he must take responsibility
Very
for
quick
his
to pin the
negligence.
blame there. Okay.
Mother Miriam came to us to receive a consecration ceremony, but she wanted something extravagant. Gideon suggested setting the coronet to have maximum ether output. I warned him that doing so is highly dangerous.
Okay.
Gideon convinced her to move
Wait,
forward
wait,
with
stop.
the ceremony. Gideon suggested setting the coronet.
I found a contradiction.
Output. I warned him. Gideon convinced her to move forward with the ceremony anyway. Since he was going to handle everything, I went back to my tasks.
This part of his testimony is rather long and repetitive. Yes, it is. Let's move ahead to the next section. Try to stop ceremony.
When Gideon activated the consecration chamber, I immediately felt something was wrong. I begged Gideon to stop, but he didn't listen.
Let's leave him for now. Okay, but we wanted to corroborate because he said he was alone when Miriam was arrived, and that wasn't true, but maybe we have to go back to Reuben. Okay. First is deduction, since there can only be one truth. If two things don't align, one or both of them is false. If Gideon and Reuben do not agree on something, someone is lying. Or if what they say do not match the evidence I find, then they must be lying. Second is induction. I should base my theory based on what I discover. If my theory does not align with any of the testimonies or evidence that I find, then I should discard it. If two theories are possible, then I should prefer the one that has more information that supports it. That said, induction alone is usually not enough. Finally, abduction. I have to kidnap someone. I must hypothesize what could have happened, filling gaps in information without my imagination. This is the fastest and most powerful way of thinking, but also the most fraught. I should engage in each of the three ways in order to uncover the truth. Can I contradict your...
Mother Miriam came to me for her consecration ceremony.
Yes, I'm certain I was alone then, but we know that's not true. Because they were both there. I guess I can't start contradicting people yet. I have to go look for stuff. Well, let's go explore instead then. Coronet limiter. The coronet limiter, a valuable piece of physical evidence. A new entry is added to your evidence panel, which can be found in the lower left of your display. There you can access detailed information about the limiter. You must present them to the suspects in order to discover any contradictions. Found in Gideon's workspace in pristine condition, component is required to safely install the coronet without causing an aether oversurge. Okay, so why is it there? New piece of evidence, let's examine it now. Place the coronet and the recipient in the chamber. The performer and the recipient pray in silence. Begin the song to start modulating the aether. Intensify the aether output by bringing the performance to a crescendo. Okay. Tip tap, tip tap. Control panel. Examine. Used to activate and control the concentration chamber. Usage records show that the aether output during the ceremony was well beyond safe ranges. Then he was obviously chatting shit. Used to open and close the I keep saying that wrong. Consecration chamber. Only operable from outside the chamber. Usage records showed it was opened twice this morning. Oof. The body is completely unharmed, but her head has exploded into a mess of blood and bone fragments. Lovely. Found near Mother Miriam's body. Parts of the amplifier component and bits of the casing have survived the explosion. Okay. Let's have a look at Reuben's workstation. Plans for constructing the aether coronet. The purpose of the device seems to be to amplify the user's aether output. The components are amplifier, casing, and limiter. But the limiter was left on the table. Plans for restoring a relic that was recently brought to a St. Walpurgis by Father Augustine. Doesn't seem to be that relevant. What's this? The Devil's Herb. I knew something nefarious is afoot. The abbey must be purified of its scent. I should dispose of any that I find. Yes, we cannot have any weed around here. This is a good holy place. Talk. Now that I've discovered important pieces of evidence, let's ask this suspect about them. Let's select the limiter, shall we? Found in Gideon. Yeah, let's ask about it. Good. I should remember that I can ask a suspect about any evidence that I find. Recognize this component, Gideon? It was found at your workstation. The coronet limiter, impossible. But the explosion, how can it be undamaged? Someone must have recovered it from the coronet prior to the ceremony. All but ensuring the ceremony would end in a bloody mess. I had nothing to do with this. Why would they sabotage my own work? Why indeed? How exactly do you operate this device? Do you press the keys much like a normal organ? Okay, it is an organ. It is a crude way to phrase it. There is much artistry in the performance. The rhythm and melody of the music affects how energy is transferred into the implant. Okay. My masterwork! It was perfectly fitted to Mother Miriam's brow. Even in pieces you can see the sublime beauty of my artistry. This can't be all you found. Where is the limiter? Limiter? There was a safety device? The aether limiter was supposed to protect the coronet from an oversurge. Additionally, it was the crown jewel of the coronet. I suppose it's shattered. Damnation. Let's go door controls. Chamber was sealed during the ceremony. There you have it. Proof the ceremony was performed flawlessly. And perhaps what's curious is the door was opened twice. The first time when Reuben opened the chamber to let Mother Miriam in. The second time was just before the ceremony started, when you closed your eyes and prayed for guidance. With the one true God as my witness, I swear that is the truth. I kneeled and listened for his voice. It must have been Reuben who opened it for some reason. He was always skittish about the slightest possibility of malfunction. Gideon claims that the earlier outputs are within safe ranges, but the control panel indicates otherwise. Let's present the control panel to him and unmask his lie. That's what I figured. Present. Lies unmasked. You lied, Gideon. The ceremony wasn't safe. The control panel's records show that the aether output values were in abnormally high ranges. Of course it was. Mother Miriam wanted the coronet as powerful as it could be. But I am Gideon the Grand. With my talents I had it under control. I made no errors. Something else went wrong. I just don't know what. Gideon has amended his territory. Let's examine maintain control. It's now verified. This statement of Gideon's testimony is now verified for two reasons. One, specificity. It has a shorter time frame and describes a clearer set of events. Two, physicality. Gideon's records now is consistent with the records from the control panel. I can assume that any verified statement like this is true. What's more, the contradiction weakened the suspect's resolve. His eye of providence glows, which allows me to enter his sanctum, the digital representation of his mind. Oof. I haven't even listened to maintain control yet, but let's just go into his brain, I guess. He's a narcissist. We knew that. We've only cracked the outer layer of his sanctum this time. Still, let's examine the psychological evidence that we've found. Interesting. This information will help me discern which statements to trust. Craves attention, sincerely believes he is the best cybernetician in the world. Let's quickly examine each statement in his testimony again. Excellent. Some of the statements are now supported by the suspect's psychology. Next, I must find correlations between the suspect's behaviour and existing demons. Let's open the demonology. Lucifer the proud, the prince of demons and the eternal, manifests in the ambitious and strong-willed. Yes. Beelzebub the gluttonous is compelled to consume stranger and filthier things. Preys upon the fervent and righteous, goading them to take matters into their own hands. Playful but deceitful demons slowly drives the host mad with whispers of their own inadequacy. The host blames others for their ill fortune until the apparent injustice drives them to take what is rightfully theirs. Kinda, maybe. He's not very... I suppose he might be ambitious, but that's not the same as... Seems like narcissistic. It might be Lotan the envious. So I must find more contradictions and present them to the suspect. I've heard the testimony and gather I can accuse the suspect. To accuse the suspect, I must establish the opportunity, means, and motive of the crime. I can try as many times as I wish, but there's only one true answer for each section. Let's try to establish the opportunity. Let's present in a section of the subject's testimony. It'll be during the prayer, right? Good. If it's a valid answer, the suspect will be forced to admit they could have committed the murder at that time. Otherwise, the suspect will give the counter-arguments to say why that is possible, why that is impossible. You claim to have prayed before the ceremony, but in truth that was when you began your sabotage. Absurd. Surely Reuben would have seen me had I done anything else. but it should he had his eyes closed. What could I have possibly harmed? When you were adjusting the coronet, perhaps. Let's try to establish the means. First, need to present physical evidence. By what means are you claiming I killed her? The limiter? Good. Same as before, the suspect will accept my evidence is valid, and deny if they can explain why I'm wrong. While you were adjusting the coronet, you removed the limiter. That's nonsense. Do you really think I would forget to replace the crown jewel of my masterpiece? By what means are you claiming I killed her? Okay. Fine, let's establish the motive. I need to present psychological evidence from their own sanctum. There's only one here. Good. If he's the culprit, then presented with the correct motive, the demon within him will compel him to speak the truth. If not, he will deny my claim. You're a self-absorbed man. Everything you do feeds into your pride. To you, Mother Miriam was a mere prop for your masterpiece. You carelessly caused her death in pursuit of artistic glory. How dare you? I took the utmost care in everything I did for Mother Miriam. The coronet was designed to be worn by her. Without her, it will forever remain imperfect. I would never risk anything that could harm my work or Mother Miriam. I loved Mother Miriam. Why would I hurt her? The accusation was unsuccessful, which means I must investigate further. Let's cancel for now and lead the suspect. Okay. Better keep exploring. I'll ask you about shit, I guess. Found on Gideon's desk, it's no wonder the coronet exploded. The imbecile must have forgotten to replace it after adjusting the coronet's amplification. Despicable. I was asking about the door controls. For safety reasons, this button is the only way to open the door. Okay. Curious. Reuben claims he went back to work. Went back to his workstation. What does Gideon say? Let's switch to his testimony.
To prepare for this.
Gideon claims that Reuben opened the door to the concentration chamber. I was going to keep calling it concentration chamber now. Let's go back to Reuben.
Gideon convinced her to move forward with the ceremony
Order Reuben, present. Lies unmasked. Let's get some more specificity on what you were doing. Reuben Garamond, you did not return to your workstation after the discussion. Gideon ordered you to open the concentration chamber for Mother Miriam. Ordered me? Is that what he told you? Despite his delusions, Gideon is certainly not my master. I did open the chamber, it's true. I apologize for the omission. It's a regular part of our routine that it slipped my mind earlier. There we go. Reuben has amended his testimony. Let's examine open chamber. Good. This statement from Reuben's testimony is now verified for two reasons. One, corroboration. Gideon's testimony confirms that Reuben opened the door for Mother Miriam. Two, specificity. Has a shorter time frame, describes a clearer set of events. I can assume that any verified statements like this is true. Right. Excellent. I've gone through the fundamental steps of investigating a murder. However, there is much I have yet to uncover. As you continue to find more information, contradict the suspects within them and try to accuse the suspect. No one will tell me when I am ready to accuse. That is entirely up to my discretion. However, there are no consequences for a failed accusation. Each failure will bring me closer to the truth of the incident. Okay, well, this is really cool. I think we're going to leave this here for now, but this is one I wouldn't mind picking up again. So if you like this, maybe it's a possibility for after Backbone finishes. Either way, thank you very much for watching. If you like my content, please do check out my other videos. If you do, I shall see you there. Goodbye.